Welcome back. And this is part 4 of my KonMari, decluttering and reorganizing my life. And in this episode, we're focused on beads. Sadly, this isn't my entire bead collection. There are boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of beads. And yeah, I really have to stop just adding another box and putting the new ones in that because they need to be sorted. They need to be organized. Anyway, so already in organizing my entire sewing stash, I've this is the 4th episode, so yeah. First of all, I went through all my tweeds. It's about 100 jackets worth there. And I also did my cottons, printed cottons for making dresses and shirts. And that's the silk because I put silk lining in each of my jackets. So yeah, the first episode was me going through those. Part 2 was sorting out the jackets that I'd made. So this one's a Chanel tweed made in Italy with metallic red, ruby red screen printed flowers over the top. And yeah, this is another jacket I made from Chanel tweed. So I threw out, got rid of quite a few of those jackets, and I'm going to pull them apart and reuse the beading and reuse the silk lining on new ones. And then part 3 was me going through my works in progress, partly made jackets. So I got them all out. And these ones, as you can see, I've put them back, and every single bit that I need to finish each particular jacket is sort of in its own little swag roll, and they're all lined up, ready to go. So if you know your Chanel tweeds, your eyes are probably popping right now, because yes, I have wasted a lot of money, or invested, depending how you look at it. So now we're up to part 4, where I sort out my bead collection. So what I'll do is just sort of drag out all the boxes, I suppose. I can't put it off any longer. Yeah, if you're wondering why I have a bead collection, then well, these are all made out of seed beads, so you know, you need ingredients for that. But also, these are the jackets that I make, and when I first started making jackets, I just put a trim of a few little beads on each. But as you can see, now I've got to the point where I sort of put in as many and many and varied beads as I can, and I sort of really go to town. And along the way, so I started making jackets about a decade ago, and I've been collecting beads, gosh, I think since before that. But yeah, it's really escalated in the past few years, and my collection needs to be organized. I can't just keep adding a new one. I have to sort them into colors and sizes, and heaven knows, but they do need to be organized and perhaps decluttered and pared down, because yeah, the beads are at plague proportions at the moment. So I will get them all out and we will go from there. Okay, I haven't gotten very far. This is just more stuff I've been using for photo shoots for Instagram and my other YouTube videos. And I also got out this is my porcelain. I have a whole drawer of fragile porcelain beads. I have some more robust ceramic beads, so I'll keep them out, but I think the porcelain ones need to go back in their drawer. And I also have these a collection of glass blown beads that you may have seen in previous videos or on Instagram. And some of the bubble ones are plain, and some of them have the reflective coating. Obviously those ones show up better. and you can see them. So yeah, these are so fragile, they also have a drawer of their own, so I'll put them back away. And yeah, but they live in a chocolate box with with bubble wrap, so I know where they are. And yeah, I just think they're too fragile to, I know with the KonMari method you're supposed to pull everything out, and technically I have, but yeah, they need to go back in their drawers now before anything can happen to them. I also have flowers that I use, and I used to use, I keep all the Chanel ribbon that I get, so when I buy things in the boutiques. So I'll put that away though, because I don't use the Chanel ribbon on trim anymore. I use it for fringe or in the actual tweed. So I'll put those away, keep with all the flowers out that I find. These are base sequins, so I'll keep them out. Lego bits that I use as beads, I'll keep them out. So I'll basically keep out everything I use in beaded trim, except the ones that are just too fragile to accidentally be knocked off the sideboard or something. Okay, I shall continue. These are the sequin I use as the base of the, oh, it's not very clear in that one. It's much clearer in this one. These are vintage silver and opaque white ones. So yeah, they're quite expensive and difficult to come by, so I can't allow myself to use them in anything else. I had to buy them in bulk because they've sort of gone out of favor, and almost overnight they disappeared. So a couple of places were just selling like everything they had left at a bit of a discount. So yeah, some of the colors you'll be asking why, but basically those are the only colors they had because they matched tutus for the dance recitals. So yeah, those are my backings. For those of you who watched the part 3 of my Marie Kondo, where I threw out some of my jackets, whittled them down, this was that jacket that I threw out, that was the beige, red and purple plaid. It was as ugly as it sounds, but the trim was really cute, and I put it apart and I'm going to use it again. There's some animals in there. There's an octopus, a moose, and there's some dinosaurs as well. So yeah, that's all the beading from one sort of modestly beaded. So it was probably about this amount of beading that jacket had, and that fills one bag. Whereas this is if the cloud tweed, where it's sort of grayish and with fluffy white bits, fluffy grayish white bits that look like clouds, and it also had blue. I decided not to make it because who wants to wear depressed clouds? But yeah, I'd already made the trim, so I had to pull it apart, and yeah, as you can see, I used a lot of beads in that one. This is the base, and then these are the big beads, the medium beads, and all the smaller ones are in there. I couldn't be bothered picking them out, but yeah, I'll have to reuse them in something else. So okay, oh, those ones are vintage. The pink ones, they're so pretty. I have a few more smaller packets of vintage because they're so prohibitively expensive, but yeah, I really value them. So when I get them, I think I'll put them with the base sequins, because this is my sort of no-go area. I can't, when I come across beads like this, I can just use them all up. That doesn't matter. I mean, they were just a standard price, and you could probably, if you went to a few bead shops, you could probably find similar things. So they're not rare, but yeah, I have to keep my rare things separate because sometimes I get too enthusiastic and use an excessive amount of really expensive things in one piece, and then I look back, and then I sort of step back and I'm like, whoa, But to be fair, the reason I started doing these beadings is because so I read a lot of historic works and I read a lot about history and the history of dress. And yeah, noble people used to sew their jewels into their outfits so that they wouldn't be stolen when they went to balls, because it was, or you know, in the carriage on the ride home from a ball. So yeah, that's where these, using, you know, so many pearls and so many really bling beads sort of developed from. So I mean, look at that green one there, it's just cut to perfection. So yeah, I'm not too mad when I use an excessive amount of beads, but I try not to do it on every jacket. So yeah, I think dividing them into obscenely expensive and just a general population is probably a good thing. Okay, as you can probably tell, I'm just procrastinating now. Time to turn off the camera and go and get more beads. Ugh. These are seed beads. They were threaded on, well, mostly seed beads, some of them are actual beads. They were threaded onto like just normal thread, cotton thread. And then once I had 3 or 6 or multiples of 3, so 9 or 12, I'd yeah, plait them together. And I thought that maybe I could use them on beading. Basically, I had long COVID last year and I couldn't really move much, and beading is something I could do even though my eyesight deteriorated. I've been beading since I was a kid, so, and historically, even after embellishers lost their eyesight, the women still had to make a living, so they, yeah, sort of did it by touch. So I felt very much like a character in a Charles Dickens novel some of the time when I was busy feeling sorry for myself and beading my beads into something that might be useful. I mean, they're gorgeous and they've been really useful as props when I was, you know, posting stuff on Instagram, and I probably never would have posted stuff if I didn't have, you know, pretty things to use as necklaces or things like that. So I don't know, and it sort of kept me busy last year when I couldn't focus on the written words, so I couldn't really read anything, and I am an avid reader, so it was so frustrating for me, but being able to bead was good. So there's that. And I don't know, it's nice just getting out 1 or 2, and it sort of makes you think of color combinations that you know, wouldn't necessarily first think of. So I don't know, I don't mind that I sort of wasted a lot of time doing it, but yeah, I probably have to pull most of them, but some I can, like that I can sew into some beaded trim. But yeah, most of them I'll probably just have to pull apart and use to make bead clusters or something. So yeah, there's all these ones. This was 1 container and I have another 2 containers. If you're wondering why I put some green and apricot in with the beige and ivory ones here, it's because I really want to make a jacket in these sort of colors. So I've collected, over the years, I've collected sequins and seed beads in these sort of colors. So yeah, that was me sort of using some of them. But yeah, I'm still determined to make that jacket. These are my samples for it. But yeah, so that's why they're a little bit curious, the color combination. Okay, I think I'll just drag out the boxes. I know with this method of decluttering, you're supposed to actually be able to see everything. So I don't know, maybe I'll just take the lids off the other boxes instead of taking everything out of them. Okay, I've come across some flowers I made out of sequin and vintage sequins and some beads in the middle. And my bok choy hand formed glass beads. I only have a few of them. They're going in the fragile drawer. So I've brought out more boxes, and also I do have two more, as well as that yellow lot of bead clusters framed that I'm working on. I also have these, and yeah, but these are for specific projects. So this is actually sort of more jacket territory rather than bead collection. So this one's finished. I know it sort of looks like I've abandoned it and then gone on to something else, but yeah, this frame doesn't have a crossbar, so this is better, it sort of fits them all. It doesn't have a crossbar, so that's as much weight as that one can take. And yeah, so it's actually finished, and they're all different projects. And then I had to do some extra ones so that I'd have a certain amount for specific projects. So that's why it's sort of partially done and then looks abandoned. But project wise, that one's done. The rest of this section is going to have, after I've done with these ones are, I've talked about it in a different video, but these ones are mostly for Chanel tweed jackets that I've partially done. So I have to get them ready next so that they're ready to go once the jacket's finished. And then once I finish them, then my next beading project will be, this lot will be black, and yeah, I know it also needs some red that are on black backing. So yeah, and the other quadrant of the yellow one still needs some orange in there. So yeah, and also I've got this box. I'll pull these apart at night and add them back to the bead collection, but otherwise and sort them, but otherwise I'll just leave them in the box. Most of them are earmarked. Most of them are being pulled apart and then reused almost immediately in something else. So yeah, I'm cool with just setting aside that box. Okay, I'm back. I had to stop because I got a delivery and it was more fabric. But in my defense, it was fabric I ordered back in November, and it's only just arrived. Pandemic times plus pre-Christmas. It's not a good combination. So I've added yet more beads here, and some plastic leaves and flowers and all sorts of things really. These bead clusters, if you watched part 3 where I did the works in progress, there was a sort of brown grey jacket with little bits of electric green. These are the bead clusters that are going to go on that. And I also found some of my antique buttons, so they've somehow been separated from all their fellows, so it'll be fun. I haven't found the rest yet. My tennis ball beads, aren't they cool? Candy corn. I am so easily amused, quite obviously. And this is my banana seed beads. These are my banana seed beads for the Chanel tweed that I've got that's yellow with little bits of brown on it. And yeah. And I also have several boxes down here. It was such a big mistake trying to put all the greens and all the blues into one storage container. I have probably more greens and more blues, like separately, those two colors, more of them than just about anything, because I love those two colors. And yeah, they need to be in separate boxes, they really do. If I'm going to, and there's still more. There's another huge box, and I've added a little bit to this. There's more, because I love those antique ones. Those ones are vintage. Some of the sort of plainer ones are just standard modern day ones, but yeah, the vintage hand press ones Oh, chef's kiss. They're so fabulous. And yeah, I've added to these piles. And more sequins as well. So yeah, I just have to drag out the big cardboard box now and round up some other small bags from, I swear, I must just walk around the place and just leave random bags of beads that I was holding or something. They're squirreled away everywhere. Anyway, I'll go and hunt them all down. Okay, I dragged that last big cardboard box over. And I am officially over it. I am retiring for the night. Ugh, look at all these. It's just ridiculous. Okay, there's that big box. Ugh. And I found more beads done up in a string. Did I think the beads were garlic or something? Ugh, I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I'm so over this. Ooh, they're pretty though. So, and my flowers, they're so cute. They're going on a tweed that's really retro 1960s. It's gonna be fabulous. I did a video about my plans for that jacket. And these are just beautiful. They're a pinky, really, really pale rose gold. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and oh well, 9 if you count the little yellow one, plus at least another 1 or 2 boxes there, and oh good lord, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? It would be good to have everything in one place and organized so I can just finally just use it all up and actually know what's there. So yes, I clearly do need to take inventory because, oh my gosh, it's so many beads. It's just so many beads. Oh my goodness. And sequins. You don't get out of this scot-free. So yeah, but I mean, I have 50 jackets made, so we know I don't just collect them and never do anything with them. And I have these jackets, there's 19 right here, and then there's another 25 in a box waiting as well. So, and there's all the tweeds, there's all like 100 jackets worth of tweeds. So I need enough beads for 150 jackets. So, I mean, definitely got a tick in that box. But my point is, they are needed. Just not sure when I'm gonna have the time to make them all. Okay, so I'm going to leave this off for the night. And I've added slightly to the box of stuff to unpick. And I might just get on with this and get all this done. That way I'll feel like I've achieved more today. Yep. Okay, I shall do that now. Oh, I should probably show this one. It's in the last video, but I'll get it out and show you anyhow. Here we go. Aren't these ceramic skulls just absolutely adorable? When mixed with those tacky vintage flowers and everything else. This is the Chanel fabric that I'm making the jacket out of, and this is the beading that's going to match. The beading isn't heavy enough. I need more glass beads in there. These big pearls are hollow plastic ones, so yeah, I might replace them with, I've got some glass ones that are quite large in that sort of mauvey light plum color, so Yeah, but oh, so beautiful. So yeah, this is good. It's reminding me why I need all these beads sorted, so I can make more beautiful work with them. If I know what's there, then I can use them to their best advantage. Okay. Resolve strengthened. I shall now go and pull all this apart, ready for reuse. I was most definitely not exaggerating when I said there was enough green to fill a box. Look at that. All different greens. Oh, they're so beautiful. There's some olive and sort of electric green pearls under there too. They are going to be gorgeous on something. So beautiful. I'm so excited to work with everything again. It was such a good idea to break them down to color block them. So much more manageable. I mean, I'm tempted to break these down even more and have a light blue box, some medium blue, and the deep blues. But for now, I'll just leave it as it's more manageable, just in one big box for each, one storage container for each color. But these have little wheels on the bottom, so I don't have to carry them or anything. Yeah, but I think it would have been better if I'd got smaller storage boxes and just stacked them, because you literally cannot carry these. They're just far too heavy. I mean, these ones on top are plastic beads, but there's glass pearls and they're all so ridiculously heavy. Gorgeous, completely gorgeous, but wow, they are not light. Okay, so I'm really happy with this. I shall might do a few more before I retire for the night. Well, you know, throw up my arms and just ignore it until the morning. So yeah, but I'm happy with these. Oh my goodness, will you look how much I told you the blues would be enough to fill a whole container. I think I'm going to split that into two after all and have the medium blue and light blue in one, and then all the dark blues in another. I think it was a mistake to add the aquas in there, but if I split them into two, then there'll be enough room for everyone. Okay, and look at the other boxes as well. This is the green one, also full. So I'm fast running out of storage containers, but I might be able to rustle up a box that I can put the lighter green ones in. And then this is the pinks. Kind of the same situation with that, except of, oh, you can't tell, but in the lower layers, the lighter pinks are that side and the darker pinks are that side. And then we have the orange box. And the rest are still kind of a mess. But this is the red one. Decent amount in that one. Almost full too. I've also done a purple box. It's a bit of a problem that these are the purpley magentas, whereas the pink magentas are in the pink box. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to work out fine. I might put all the magentas into one shoebox to avoid confusion at a later date. Not now. Okay, so those are the purples. And I did end up pulling apart all those ones I wanted to recycle, bits of beading I wanted to recycle from old jackets. And I've sort of started sorting them anyway. So yeah, actually I'll show you all the parts of that one I did for the Chanel tweed. So the pinks were just on, they were sort of by themselves. These silver and sort of white and ones and gold ones were on the pink, pale pink jacket that sort of looked a bit Doris Day, and then the whites were on something by themselves, and then that was the purples, and then the rest of these are the Chanel one. All of this was on that one jacket. So as you can see, you can put quite a lot of beading on just one, and these as well. I had to carefully take them out. And there are also some bead clusters. I kept one out so that you could see. This is, I keep going on about bead clusters. This is what they are. So instead of, if you just put in 1 or 2 seed beads into a beaded trim, then it will get lost. But if you make a little sort of bead bug out of them and then you sew that in, it's sort of, because it's the same size as one of the larger beads, you can see how beautiful the beads are. So it showcases the smaller beads and gives them more attention than they, you know, it makes you look at them in a way that they'd sort of be ignored otherwise. So that's why I like them. Plus the old idea of gemstones sewn into your clothes. I quite like that. So yeah, there's a lot of beads that went into this, and bear in mind this was the reason I had to undo it was because it wasn't heavy enough. So yeah, I can put even more beads in. So as ridiculous as my storage containers full of beads may seem, they are eventually all going to be used up. And in the Chanel Resort collection that's in stores at them, or ready to wear collection that's in stores at the moment, there's a jacket, a tweed jacket that's $22,500, and that's just a plain sort of whitey cream tweed jacket with a few metal embellishments so that they look like brooches, but they can't be taken out, so you can't wear them on a different jacket. And that's, you know, $22,500 is a lot of money. So if I spend a few hundred on a tweed fabric, and then another 130 on some silk lining, and plus the threads, plus all the beads, I'm still so much better off than buying a jacket that costs $5 or $10 or $20 or $22,500. So yeah, and that is how I justify it to myself. Okay, back to sorting out those beads. Now these beads that I've strung into sort of necklacey things, or rows of beads, are both purple and brown, but I have a Chanel tweed in magenta purples and there's some browns in there, so I might just leave these as they are and put them in the purple box for now, because I'm just about to do the half-made Chanels and I will use them. Yeah. Look, the bench is clear except for this box is sort of beading adjacent things like ribbon, a bag of mixed sequins, a few things that have to be pulled apart, and strips of sequins and like vintage trim, that sort of stuff. I just looked in the box and then closed it again. I'll take the ribbons out and roll them up because some of them are a bit crushed, and that's another one I got in India, and pop them up with the stuff I want to make tweed out of. But the rest if I can weave it into tweed, then I'll put it up with the stuff, the material, the yarns and things that I'm going to make tweed out of. So all the ribbons basically, but the rest I'll leave in that box. So all the grey and the silver beads and the grey Lego pieces all fit into one box, which is, it's not a very big box. So I'll just pop that on a shelf, which is very cool. I can actually lift this one. All the these are the base sequins when I use that I make the base of the trim with. Almost all of them fit in here. Some of them I had to put in the drawer for delicate beads. So yeah, I'm very happy that they all fit. It's like a little library of base sequin. Very cool. The bead origami things made out of the silver bugle beads have to go in either the drawer, one of the drawers for the delicate beads, or if there's not enough room, then maybe another shoe box. And the beads that I took off, pulled apart last night and just put them into little packets, they're going, this is the jacket I'm making first, as soon as I clear away all these boxes of storage containers of beads. That's the one I'm going to make first, and that bag there is all the beads I'm going to use on it. So yeah, instead of dispersing them and sorting them into color order, I just kept them all together. And I mean, I know it's a bit messy, but that's the shortest, best, most efficient way of doing it. So yeah, and then we have, yeah, all of these containers. Oh, so many. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And the grey one. So that's 11 boxes. Very cool. So yeah, this is the rest of the beads. And they're all sorted. And they're so much more accessible than they were. Oh, it's just awesome. Completely awesome. So I'll do a little pan over each color, like, or some of them have 2, so that's brown and black, yellow and gold, all red, beige, cream and white, blue and aqua, purple, apricot and orange. Yes, I have an entire storage container of orange and apricot beads. Green, and that bag there with the different colored ones in it, I just kept that together because that's for a specific tweed. So yeah, it's easier just to keep them all, that bag in there all together. And then the pinks, and then the darker blues. This is so cool. It's very, very awesome. So that's everything. I did run out of room in the green, so I had to put some of the beads up there, but I'm going to use them on that green Chanel, so I figure that's legit. And yeah, and I also didn't end up keeping a separate box for the really expensive ones. Like these ones here are solid glass with specks of gold dust in them and mauve. And yeah, these beads are Japanese frosted glass beads. So yeah, they are astoundingly expensive, especially considering how tiny they are. But yeah, so I figure I'll just mix them in with all the other beads, because if the expensive ones make me use the beads, then I figure that's, you know, kind of them doing their job. And oh, aren't the little elephants just the most adorable thing ever? So yeah, I've just left them in, and yeah, if they make me bead faster, that's a good thing. I'm done KonMariing my sewing, every aspect of my sewing stash. I have to put the lids on these and push them back to the storage area. I will put a couple under the side table thing there, but yeah, the rest will have to be pushed back. Oh, that's my workout for the day. And then yeah, oh, and I have to do that fabric haul of the printed cottons that I just got and that just arrived from the courier yesterday. And they're so cute. I'm going to make so many brightly colored shirts and dresses to wear for the new year. It's going to be awesome. And I'll also be able to make jackets with all these newly sorted out, brightly colored, gorgeous beads on their trim. Very cool. Okay, so now go KonMari your life, and it too could be as awesome as mine. Oh gee. That's a little bit sad, isn't it? No, but seriously, it is cool. I feel a lot less stressed now that everything has its own place and everything is in its right place. And yeah, it's so much more manageable. I mean, I know that's still 19 half-made jackets, but literally all I have to do is put the sewing machine up and lean over, grab one, sew this machine lines, and then do the hand sewing, and they're done. It's just so awesome. So yeah, I wish I'd done this so much sooner. Yeah. If you're on the fence about decluttering and things like that, it is absolute hell while you resist it. But if you just sort of just accept that it has to be done, and the faster you start, the faster it will be over, then yeah, it's kind of awesome. You get to have all these playthings. And yeah, I think I'll be doing like one video a month where I show and tell my beads, because there's always all those fabric hauls and unboxings on that people do on social media. So I figure I'll just, you know, take out one color each month, and just lay them all out. Or yeah, so I can, if no one else, at least I can see what's in there and get inspired to use them. Yeah. Very cool. I really love these oranges. They're awesome. Ooh, I might have to throw some into that orange one I'm making next. Haha. Okay. Now that I have a plan, I shall go execute it.